All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain and go behind the code to track a single fascinating entity, the software bug. We're going to follow its entire life story, this kind of hidden journey from its unexpected birth all the way to its final decisive judgment. Okay, let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? That super frustrating moment when an app just freezes or a button does absolutely nothing? Well, that glitch, that's the grand entrance of our main character for today. It's the first ripple in the water that signals something is wrong deep down in the code.
So let's be clear. We all kind of know what a bug is, right? It's an error in the code that makes something behave weirdly. But what's really fascinating here isn't the what, it's the how. How does this flaw, this little ghost in the machine, get systematically hunted down and dealt with? That's the real story.
And that hunt brings us to our hero, the QA analyst, the tester. Think of them as the detectives on the front lines. Their mission isn't just to find bugs, it's to understand them, document them, and kickstart this whole process that makes sure the software you use every single day actually works.
This brings us to the first chapter in our bug's life, the moment it's officially born. This is where it goes from being just a random glitch to a documented entity, like an official case file in the system.
And here it is, the official birth certificate. The second a tester finds and reports a bug, its status is set to new. From this moment on, it formally exists. It's no longer just some weird anomaly. It's a target. It has a name.
Now, here's the thing. Just saying, hey, this thing is broken is completely useless. For a developer to even have a prayer of fixing it, they need a map to the scene of the crime. That map is the bug report. And trust me, its clarity can mean the difference between a quick fix and a bug that languishes for weeks.
So what's in this perfect map? 4 absolutely crucial things. First, the exact steps to make the bug happen again. That's the treasure map. Second, you gotta say what should have happened. You know, the ideal world. Third, what actually happened, the broken reality. And finally, the smoking gun, screenshots or recordings that prove the bug is real.
Okay, so with a solid case file in hand, our bug now officially enters the system. It starts its journey through the development workflow, a really structured path that, if everything goes right, leads to its elimination.
This right here is basically the roadmap for the bug's journey to resolution. It starts when it's assigned to a developer, then it's opened, worked on, and finally marked as fixed. So let's take a closer look at each of these critical stages. First stop, assigned. This is the official handoff. The bug report gets looked at and lands on a specific developer's to-do list. From that point on, that developer owns the problem. It's their job to dig in and find the root cause.
Next, the status flips over to open or in progress. This is the engine room, folks. The developer's now deep in the code, running diagnostics, untangling logic, and trying to engineer a solution. This is where the real, nitty-gritty problem-solving happens.
And then, you get this moment of triumph. The status changes to fixed. The developer thinks they've cracked the case. They've written the new code, deployed the solution, and made notes about their changes. But, and this is a big but, the story is not over yet. We've now reached the climax of our bug story. A fix has been submitted, but here's the real question. Is it the right fix? Does it actually solve the problem without, creating new ones? It's time for the final verdict. And this is where the journey comes full circle. The bug, now marked as fixed, goes right back to the very same tester who discovered it in the first place. Their job now is to put that fix through its paces, testing it rigorously to verify that, yes, it actually works. If the fix holds up under all that testing, we get our happy ending. The bug's status is changed one last time to closed. Its lifecycle is officially complete. It's removed from the active workload, and the product is now objectively, demonstrably better. Success! But here's the dramatic twist in the tale. What if the fix didn't quite work? Or, in a developer's worst nightmare, what if the fix broke something else entirely? This is where this whole process really proves its value.
It gets reopened. It's like a zombie. The bug comes back from the grave. The tester rejects the fix and sends it right back into the developer's queue, usually with detailed notes on why it failed. And guess what? The cycle begins all over again.
So far, we've only followed one little bug. But in any complex piece of software, you're not talking about one bug. You're talking about hundreds, maybe even thousands. So how on earth does a team manage that entire universe of bugs without it all just descending into pure chaos?
Well, they use these incredibly powerful bug tracking tools like Jira or Bugzilla. You can think of these platforms as the digital headquarters for the whole operation. They are the central nervous system that logs and manages every single step of every single bug's life.
This, of course, raises the million-dollar question. I mean, when you have a backlog of thousands of issues, you obviously can't fix everything at once. So, how do teams decide what to tackle next? This is where you get into the critical art of triage.
And this slide brilliantly breaks down the two core ideas they use, severity and priority. See, severity measures the impact, like, does this bug crash the entire system or is it just a minor typo? Priority, on the other hand, measures urgency. A low-severity bug, like a spelling mistake on the company's homepage, could still have a really high priority. Mastering this balancing act is absolutely key to effective development. When you get right down to it, this entire elaborate process, this whole life cycle of discovery, assignment, fixing, and verification, it all serves one simple, powerful goal. As our source material puts it, it's all to ensure the quality of the product. That's it. That's the whole game.
And that leaves us with one final, big question. This process is continuous, right? New features always introduce new bugs, and some fixes can create unforeseen problems. So, if every single bug has a life cycle, is any piece of software ever truly finished? It's something to think about next time your app glitches. Thanks for joining me.